packaging is still an issue because it's not well developed in our country. We have very good products, but when it comes to package them, it becomes a challenge. And we are working on it by investing more in a more modern packaging style, and also on branding. Branding also is, it's a complex thing. And we do also a lot of work with the Bureau of Standards to increase, the international standards. Now we want some of our big manufacturers, they even target the ISO. So the ISO is the international standard. Our industry is still young compared to the other countries, but as Rwandans, we are determined and we will catch up.
Angaza is a Rwandan eco-brand that upcycles vinyl advertising banners into handcrafted accessories. According to the founding members, there is still a lot that needs to be done to ensure local products have audience even on an international platform.
We believe that the demand is there for such types of products. We haven't yet established such markets, but we know that they are there, they are existing. And for us to be able to supply such a demand, we need to have the capacity for it. The market in Kigali at the moment is still a bit small. And in the foreign markets, people understand accessories made out of waste, and they're ready to buy it because they believe in the cause behind it. Whereas here, they may think, as I told you, it should be cheaper. So how are we going to make money with that?
The international market is good for us because they already understand what eco-fashion is all about, what it is in producing products that are sustainable. So we need both right now. I think if we had the capital, we'd be able to do our own products in our own workshop, be able to supervise them, and we get the right quality that is standard, that is constant.
With all these challenges, a suitable and accommodating environment is key to promote business and, by extension, export market. These are challenges the government is now keenly addressing.
It is required from Rwandan transporters to pay $300 per truck whenever they cross the park. The same is not required from Tanzanian transporters. So that is obviously a discrimination against one group of transporters. If indeed there is an issue of crossing the park and therefore the environment, but it should then be applied to all transporters. But if it is applied only to one group of transporters from one specific country, then it becomes really an impediment to competitiveness. So today we are in a strong position to request other countries, to ask other countries to just reciprocate all the facilitation that we have provided to traders from their respective countries.
Structural reforms to improve productive capacities, particularly in agriculture, are expected to contribute to a reduction in food prices and ensure that headline inflation remains below the central bank's medium-term inflation target of 5%.
Last year we had $56 million of revenues. So our GDP is around $7 billion of revenues. So if you make calculation, you realize that we are at less than 10% of our GDP for coffee. So what we want to try is to make sure we continue, investing in it, not us as government in collaboration with the private sector, so that we can increase the contribution of coffee to GDP. But coffee alone will not contribute to increasing, our GDP levels. It has to be combined with other cash crops and like tea and others that are coming so that the GDP can keep growing.
To enhance export development, Rwanda has come up with the Export Development Program, focusing mainly on export promotion, capacity building of new and existing exporters, marketing Rwandan products in international markets, and coaching exporters on marketing strategies.
We work very closely with local government to make sure that our farmers are well taken care of in terms of what we can afford to support them with. Talking about inputs and extension services, we've been investing heavily in those kind of services. But we also encourage investors in this area because this is an area where the private sector has fully taken advantage of the opportunities. So we keep encouraging these investors to also invest in farmers because farmers are their key partners in making sure that we have the right value so that we can attract the right prices for our coffee.